Get in here. Come on in. Get in here. Strengthen your soul is on. It's Friday. Friday. Getting down on Friday. Everybody's looking forward to the weekend. Thank you, Rebecca Black. Yes, I know I look amazing with these computer glasses on, but I'm taking them off because I want to see you. And I don't just see you, I see you. So get in here. Come on in. We need you. We want you. Get in here and grab a drink too. As always, a review of our schedule right before we cheers. 8 o'clock we open up. 8:01 we start. We drink rather. We drink. 8:02 we start. 8:08 we try. We actually lean in and we go, how do we strengthen our soul? And at 8:15 we wrap up. One thing, quick thing to note, there will be no strengthen your soul on Monday. It's a holiday. No strengthen your soul on Monday because it's a holiday. So come on in, grab a drink. Tonight I'm having some Bengal spice tea. I love this stuff. I'm going to take the tea bag out, I think, but I might throw it back in afterwards. I got a little place to set it right here. No, it's going to stay in my drink because I'm making a mess. I love this tea. It's a hint, it's a mix of cinnamon and heaven. So, anyways, get in here, grab a drink, grab whatever you like, whatever will make you feel good, feel better, feel stronger. And let's cheers together. Cheers. That's really good. I'm going for another. Let's talk about your soul. We've got work to do. How many of you ever talk about The Bachelor? And by talk about, I mean have watched The Bachelor. There's a season in my life where my wife, and maybe even me, my dad for a season of life was a reality TV junkie. He might still be, but I think I remember watching some of The Bachelor or The Bachelorette with him. Can't remember, but not much. But my wife, this one I'm certain of, my wife really liked watching The Bachelor. And one of the strangest and hardest parts of The Bachelor to watch. Some of you know this 1,000 times better than me. If you don't know what The Bachelor is, let me explain it to you. The Bachelor is a show where there's one guy, the Bachelor, and then there's like a dozen or 20 or 16 women who they're all trying to vie to fall in love with the Bachelor. And so there's dates and makeups and breakups and fights and all kinds of chaos. It's kind of ridiculous. I don't watch it anymore, for the record. Uh, some of you are going, good. Some of you are going, you're missing out. Uh, and what's the saddest and worst part about the show, The Bachelor, is when they get to the end. And usually what seems to have happened is this. There are two women, or in the case of The Bachelorette. Sorry, I'm just getting my clock going here again. I didn't look at it well. In the case of The Bachelorette, two men, usually both of whom are in love. Both of whom are in love with the guy or the gal who's at the end. And you have sort of two lovers. And the show says you can only choose one. Can I be honest? Can I be entirely honest with you? When it comes to life, it is very similar to The Bachelor. That you can be in alignment with God or the universe or love, or you can be in love with money. So tonight we're going to have a talk about money. One of the things that Jesus said was this: when it comes to God, life, the universe, love, Him, Jesus, that you will either align yourself there or you will find yourself in alignment with money. Somebody once said that You will either use money and love God and love people, or you will love money and use God and use people. So today we're going to talk about, what do you do with money? What do you do with money? And at 8:08, we're going to spend some time just pressing into some reflection, some thoughts, some prayer, and go, how do we live this well? How do we live this out well? How do we make sure that we master money so that money does not master us? A reminder again for those of you turning in, there will be no strength in your soul on Monday due to the holiday. For those of you who check out my Mindset Mastery videos, those two, I didn't make note of that. I missed it. So let's talk about what do we do with money. So the first one is this. There's the posture towards money. So if I were to say I had a capability of making you a millionaire today, like filthy rich, really, really rich, how many of you would love that? Let's be honest. How many of you would love that? I'd take more money. How many of you go, I'd finally have a life worth living? See, if you go, my life would now be worth living, then you know that money's starting to rule you. Or some of you go, I'd rather die than be rich. Then be careful, you are also in the trap of money. So your posture towards the rich and poor, you can either idolize or demonize either side. If you idolize the rich or demonize the rich, or idolize the poor and demonize the poor, it is a sign that money is starting to grip your heart. That it's becoming a master over you rather than you mastering your money. And it will rob your soul. So, I want us to take some time. I want to lay out a bit of a framework, again, in four sections that we're going to look at tonight. Number one is this. These are in no particular order. Saving, spending, grabbing, and or hiding. I have completely sewered myself for being able to write effectively on one page, but here we go. So what I want you to do first is we're going to spend some time reflecting and going, how's your giving? How's your generosity? One of the weird aspects about money is this. As you give away money, it actually strengthens your soul. And as your soul gets healthy, you get freer with money. And so it's sort of like pedals on a bike. So some people go, which one matters more? Do you have to give first to have a healthy soul, or do you have a healthy soul to start giving? And the answer is, sure, yes. Either one is good. How's your giving? Number 2 and 3 are related. How's your saving and how's your spending? And we're going to do some reflection on these real quick. Are you saving? Are you saving for the future? Are you planning ahead? Do you have money left over? Because you'll never be able to give if you don't save. Conversely, are you spending more than you make? Are you spending well? Are you cheap? Some of you, again, you hide from money. Some of you, you're like me. I had a season of my life where I was utterly cheap, which is the opposite of generous. I wasn't wasteful. See, wasteful and cheap are on the same spectrum, but generosity is on the spectrum of a healthy soul. And finally, are you grabbing for more money greedily or hiding? So let's do some reflection. Number 1, here's your question. Who could I be more generous towards? And you're going to stop and reflect and pray and think and Write down whoever it would be that you could be more generous towards. Could be a church, could be a charity, could be uh, a friend, a family member, a spouse. Who could you be more generous towards? So, in the interest of full disclosure, I give a bunch of money away to my church. I make absolutely no money from doing Strengthen Your Soul, which is kind of fun. It means I can be completely and utterly honest. Uh, but for me, an area where I could be more generous after I've done sponsored kids and given to my church and looked after my kids and wife is actually with my friends. To be a person who's always bringing stuff. I'm not always that person. I want to become that person. I feel the nudge of God to be generous that way. Saving. So the first one is this. Question is just this question. How do I steward my money better? How could you steward your money better? So if you don't save at all, there might be a place. So we're going to combine these two. Stewardship and savings. Some of you, you're going to get a pass here. God's going to go, you're doing good. Some of you guys are going to go, you got to stop spending so much at the bar. You got to stop spending so much on your car. Some of you are going to get, you got to start investing. You got to start doing a retirement plan. Just go, God, where do I need to shift or adjust my spending and my saving? Where do you need to shift? For me, it's about investing, which is the least interesting thing to about 90% of us. Got a little bit of money that's just sitting in a bank account that I've been setting aside to secure my financial future so I can help more people. Feel prompted in that. And then, is there any place that you're grabbing or hiding? Any place in your life where you're grabbing for more money, too much money, or you're hiding from money and not receiving what you should? And for me, part of my reflection actually comes in my job. I have only got I've experienced a lot of success for our church, and I never did it for the money. Never did it for the money. So for years and years and years, I just said, I don't want any increase at all. And so, the people who made that decision generously bumped me based on cost of living adjustment. But for years and years and years, I've sort of hid from money as part of what I do in my job. And I actually feel like God's going, you could just talk more honestly about the good and the bad and the interesting. Don't be grabby. But I have a propensity to hide from money in that area. And in terms of grabbing for money, I've been burned. I do a bunch of premarital counseling, which is extra and in addition to my job. And I used to be in a hiding position. Then I probably have shifted to a grabbing position where I'm probably a little bit more upfront than I need to be. I need to be clear about, like, I spend time, effort. I'll do it for free. I've done tons of it for free. But I've also known people who've spent tens and tens of thousands of dollars on their wedding. I've done their ceremony and their premarital counseling and all that, and got nothing. It's always hard. So just feeling a caution not to grab in that area, but to keep serving and loving people so that I master money, so that I use money and love God and love people. That's the whole idea. So with that being said, love to wrap up our time. Hope you reflected on this. Hope you heard some areas you could make some shifts. But with that being said, I love you. Hope you have an amazing weekend. I will see you on Tuesday, not Monday. Let me just pray a simple prayer. May you experience freedom from money, that you would use it and love people, that you would use money and love God, that you would be in alignment and have a generous heart so that you can be just like your Father in heaven. That being said, have an amazing weekend. Love y'all. We'll see you next week.